How Camden Yards saved Baltimore and changed baseball forever. There was a time when baseball stadiums were not built for baseball. They were built for everything. Concrete donuts dropped onto massive parking lots, miles from the city center. They were cold, impersonal. They were designed to be efficient, but they forgot to be human. They forgot that a ballpark is more than just a place to watch a game. It is a cathedral, a time machine. A place where a father can connect with his son, and the city can find its heart. By the 1980s, Baltimore was at a crossroads. The Colts had left in the middle of the night. The city's pride was wounded, and the Orioles, our Orioles, were playing in a stadium that was showing its age. The city needed a win. It needed a miracle, and it got one. In the form of a forgotten, abandoned railroad yard. Chapter 1. The Impossible Idea. The idea was simple, but revolutionary. What if, instead of tearing down the past, we built on top of it? What if we did not run from the city, but embraced it? The team of architects, led by Janet Murray Smith, looked at the old B&O Warehouse, the longest brick building on the East Coast, and did not see a relic. They saw a right field wall. They saw character. They saw history. They called it a retro park, but it was more than that. It was a statement. It was a rejection of the concrete donut. It was a promise that a ballpark could be part of the city's fabric, not an island in a sea of asphalt. It had an asymmetrical field dictated by the city streets around it. It had real grass. It had steel trusses, not concrete ramps. It was built for baseball, and only baseball. And on 6th April 1992, the world finally got to see it. Chapter 2. Opening Day. A City Reborn. I was there that day. I took my son, who was just a boy then, and I will never forget the look on his face when we walked up the ramp and saw that field for the first time. It was green, so green. It was like walking into the past. It felt like Ebbets Field. It felt like Forbes Field. It felt like every story my father ever told me about baseball had come to life. That day, the Orioles beat the Cleveland Indians 2-0. But the score did not matter. What mattered was the feeling that baseball was home, the feeling that Baltimore was home. For the first time in a long time, the city had something to be proud of, a national showpiece, a place the whole country was talking about. Chapter 3. The Camden Effect. And then, a funny thing happened. Other cities started to notice. They saw what was happening in Baltimore, and they wanted it for themselves. The Camden Effect swept across the country. Suddenly, every team wanted a downtown ballpark. Every team wanted a retro design. Every team wanted to capture that same magic. 21 new ballparks have been built since Camden Yards opened its gates, and almost every single one of them owes its soul to what happened in Baltimore. They brought baseball back to the city. They brought fans back to the game. They reminded us that a ballpark is not just a building. It is a destination. It is a memory maker. It is a place where fathers and sons can share a hot dog and a story and feel like they are part of something bigger than themselves. Coach Wiz gives his take. A ballpark, it's a special place. It's one of the few places left in the world where you can go with your dad, and his dad, and your son, and you are all the same age. You are all just fans. You are all just boys, watching a game. Camden Yards, it reminded everyone of that. Before that, we were building these sterile environments. These concrete things, they were cold. But a ballpark has to have warmth. It has to have a soul. It has to have a connection to the city it's in. That warehouse, that's the soul of Camden Yards. It's the history. It's the reminder that we are all part of a story that's bigger than us. It's not about luxury boxes or fancy restaurants. It's about the green of the grass, the crack of the bat, the smell of the hot dogs. It's about being there, together. And that's what Camden Yards gave back to baseball. It gave it back its heart. 30 plus years later, Camden Yards is still here. It's seen its share of history. Cal Ripken's 2,131st game, Eddie Murray's 500th home run. It's seen generations of fathers and sons pass through its gates, and it's still the standard at the ballpark that forever changed baseball. The ballpark that saved a city, and for me, it's the place that reminds me that no matter how much things change, some things, the important things, will always stay the same. Thank you for watching. We feature new stories every week, so please subscribe and comment on our channel.